setting up the presentation for a potential rewrite that has a late payment. Now we're going to review three different sections. Section number one is the qualifying and investigation process. Section number two is the offering solutions section. And section number three is the justifying and closing. So let's review the first one, qualifying and investigating. Now, number one, the purpose of checking for a rewrite is simply to determine if the payment is higher than other options that we have. You're going to have to determine how late is the payment. If the payment is a day late, most likely we're not going to offer a rewrite option. But if the payment is 10, 15, 20 days late, then it may be a potential rewrite. Confirm the payment history to determine if they're constantly late, and if they are, maybe offering a solution with a grace period or using a checking account may be an option. And also, if they're constantly late, determine why they're late. Maybe the due date of the payment doesn't work with their finances. So determine everything that has to do with their late payment to determine if there's any type of solutions that we could offer. Section number two, offering solutions. Now, number one, educate the client on the grace period. If the company does not offer that, educate them that there may be other companies that may allow them to continue to be late without them being in trouble or without them having to pay additional fees or having to restart a new policy. Number two, introduce the option of using a checking account. Let them know that 90% of the clients today are using their checking account to have the company deduct the monthly payment every single month. It eliminates being late. It eliminates additional fees. It eliminates them having to drive to the office to make the payment. It's a lot easier. Number three, introduce a concept of paying more every time their payment is late. Every company is going to charge a $10, $15, $13 late payment, a late fee. So that means they're constantly paying more every single month. Introduce the 101, introduce the coverages, just to determine if they're actually interested in better coverages. We may be able to offer a different option with better coverages, calculating the late fees. So instead of them paying $10, $15 for late fees, maybe we could sell them a different company using a checking account, paying an additional $10, $15, which they're already paying those $15 extra because they're late, but for better coverages. Section number three, justify and close. Now, number one, review the concept of a grace period and also their history of being late. And if they're constantly late, then you're going to use that as value, and you're going to emphasize on the fact that they're late every single day. And if there's no grace period, the best thing is to go with a different company that's going to give them a little bit more flexibility on being late. Educate them that being late technically means driving without insurance. Until they actually make a payment, there's no coverage whatsoever. So sell them on the idea that being late, having no coverage, means driving without insurance. Emphasize on the risk of not having insurance. So number three, you're going to emphasize on the risk of not having insurance until they actually make a payment. So you're going to offer them either a company with a grace period or an option with their checking account or better coverages, and you're going to emphasize on the fact that either way, every single month when they're late, they're driving with no insurance. Every single month that they're late, they're paying an additional $5, $10, $15. So why not use those $10, $15 extra instead of making those additional late payments and paying for the extra late fee? Use those $10, $15 to get a policy that's going to offer them a grace period, that's going to offer them a checking account option, and also, most importantly, that's going to offer better coverages. Now, use any other tool to try to close the customer on transferring over from the policy that they have to a policy that's going to be more flexible and also that's going to give them more benefits.